Lesson 6.4, the percent equation. So we're on to the next lesson, and you guys are amazing. Just thought I might put that out there. Okay. So the essential question, how can you use an equivalent form of the percent proportion to solve a percent problem? So we're going to use what we kind of went over yesterday, that proportion thing, where we had like is over of and percent over 100. And we're going to kind of like rewrite that, and so we can solve percent problems, okay? So, we're just not going to do this part. We're just going to talk about this. So we had the part like is over, so you have part over whole equals percent. And then, so multiply each side by that. Let's just write this thing down. And this, okay, in your notes. And we're just going to do an example. Okay, and then obviously write this as well. So, to represent A is P percent of W, use an equation. So part of a whole is A. And then percent is P, obviously, and then whole is there. So they're going to want us to rewrite it in decimal form. And yeah, so let's just do examples. That's going to be the best way to figure this whole equation out. So what number is 25% of 50? So we have the 0.24, because that's how we rewrite. So if we have 24, that's what it turns into. And then times 50 is going to give us whatever is. So A is, so the whole number which we want to find the percent of is going to be the A. So we can just label that A. So if you multiply this, I'm probably just going to, for the sake of my well-being, put that over 100 times 50. It's times, right? Yeah. Okay, and then I can simplify this. A equals, so divide by 2, but divide by 4, we have 6 over 25 times 50. So this makes it easier for me to do. So 6 times 50 equals 300. 300 divided by 25, and then that is going to equal 12. Okay, so 12 is 0.25 times 50. So 12 is our answer. Okay, so they are saying that 9.5 is, and we don't know, so we're going to put an X there, of 25. So we're looking for the percent this time, so we have to divide this by 25, divide this by 25. Okay, and then so we get that X equals 0.38, which if I move that over twice, so that equals 38%. And that's what we're looking for. We were looking for a percent. Okay, so 39 is 52. I'm going to put it over 100. You could do a decimal if that's what you like. Of what number? Okay, so first I'm just going to simplify this to make my life easier. I'm going to change colors too. So 39 equals, and 2 goes, so that's going to be 26 over 100, which is going to be over 100, oops, over 50, which is going to be, if I divide that by 2 again, 13 over 25x. So I want to get rid of that over here. So I have 25 to 13, that crosses all this, multiply 25 divided by 13, simplify before I multiply, And so this is going to cross out, and this is going to, oops, and this is going to change into a 3. So because 13 goes into 13 once, and 13 goes into 39 3 times. So I have 25 times 3, which equals 75. So it's going to be 39 is 50.25 of our 75 that we found. So 75 is our answer there. So it's really tricky use of words. So of is going to be our last part. Percent is right here. But multiply those together. And that's going to equal our is thing. And I just wrote random squares here, but just listen, circles and shapes, and I'm sorry, but just listen to the words that I was saying, not the doodles that I was making. Okay, so write and solve an equation to answer the question. I'm going to do 2, and I really want you guys to do the other ones, because that's just more practice, and more practice equals perfect. So what number is, so we don't know that number, I'm going to put x there, and then 0.10, or I'm going to do 10 over 100 of 20. So that's actually going to equal 1 over 10 times 20. So that equals 20 over 10, which equals 2. So 2 is 10% of 20, which kind of makes sense if you think about it. So in a real life situation, if I had a $20, I don't know, bill at a restaurant, and I only wanted to give a 10% tip, wow, for one, I'd be really rude, because you should give 20% or more, because waitresses work their butts off. Not that I know, actually I do know, because I was a waitress, still am a waitress here and there, but say the waitress was horrible, which I don't think any waitresses really try to be horrible. Say they are, and you're like, I think she only deserves, or he only deserves 10%, then this would be where you would want to figure that out, because I'm going to give them a $2 tip then. So that's where this one comes into play all the time. I'm always in the restaurant. I'm like, okay, so what's 20% of my $36 meal? Obviously, I'm not alone, because I do not eat $36 worth of food at a restaurant. Maybe. I love food. We all know that. Okay. So, and then I'll do 3, and you guys can do these 2. So 3, okay, is, we don't know the percent, so I'm going to put x of 600. Okay. So I have to divide by 600, divide by 600. I'm going to get a decimal, and that decimal is 0.005. Okay, and then if I want to make that into a percent, I have 0.5%, which makes sense because 3 is what percent of 600 is obviously a very small percentage. Okay? Moving on. So this says find the percent of sales tax on the total, on the food total. So they give you the sales tax, which is 0.65, and they want to know the percent, which we don't know, of the total food. So you would divide by 27.50, divide by 27.50, and you are going to get that x equals, and it's going to be 0.06, which we all know, we should know that this is, anyways, without doing this problem, that sales tax is usually 6%. Okay, because I moved this over twice. Alright, and let's move on. Okay, find the amount of a tip of the food total, of a 20% tip of the food total. So food total is the $27.50, and I'm just going to do the food total because that's what it's labeled, not the subtotal. So $27.50, that's the whole, I'm just writing that there, but so we want to know, we don't know but we want to know what this is. So I can give her, the store, or her, a nice tip. Okay? So, if I have 20 over 100, that simplifies down to 2 over 10, which is 1 over 5. Okay? So, basically, I have equals 1 over 5 times 50 over 1, which equals 5.5. So we should be giving our, I don't know, is this a restaurant or, so our waitress, we should be giving her $5.05 as a tip. That seems a little bit more accurate than a 10% tip from earlier. Anyways, that's all we have today, and I'll see you tomorrow, and you guys are amazing, like I keep saying, but you should hear it every day because you truly are. Okay.